Hello, everyone. This is Old School from WhatTheBuck.net with our last training camp video. It was the evening training camp tonight over at Ray J, and this was a very fan-focused event. I have a lot of notes, so this video may go a little longer than we're used to, so I apologize for that. But all in all, it was a terrific event. It was held in the stadium. It was free to everybody. They had a bunch of little giveaways and stuff, and they really catered the event towards the fans, with the coaches coming on the Jumbotron and explaining what the different drills were that were going on. And giving you sort of a vision as to what they were looking for in those drills. That's the information that I always thought they should put on the back side of the roster sheet for people to go out to camp to get an idea what's going on. They don't have to tell us what's being run when, but at least give people that background. And maybe you just do a featured one each day. But all in all, it was a very offense-focused set of events in the evening. I felt a little bit bad for the defense. They were in a position where they were behind. In many of these drills, it'll be more clear as I go through the video. But all in all, it was a good time. They finished up with a fireworks display, and that was, like I said, a good time. They started it out after a little run through the gauntlet with a game of horse equivalent called Buck. So we got to see the place kickers, Connor Barth versus young man Lawrence Kansas City. I can't remember off the top of my head. Anyway, they played horse with field goal kicks, and lo and behold, Connor Barth kicked his ass. He will be cut relatively soon anyway, but it was fun. It was good to see him. They were able to move the ball all over, almost like rugby-style kicks. Then we went directly to goal line, and at goal line we saw Roy Miller show up again as a fullback. The offense opened up with an Ernest Graham dive for a touchdown. Then they went Derek Ward when they went second string guys. They had Derek Ward running behind Presley. Derek Ward got stood up in the backfield and then ran through two defenders for another touchdown. And then they tried to go for their third in a row, which they actually got, which was actually the third one was stopped. It was Huggins was stopped, and then the fourth one was Huggins for a dive for a touchdown. Last one with that set of people was Ernest Graham off left tackle behind Roy Miller, who had a very nice kick-out block for a touchdown. Again, the defense was getting run over pretty good. Adam Hayward was trying to get him fired up. Then they went to twos. We saw a nice play action to a naked boot left. And for old Bucks fans, you remember Doug Williams was king of the naked boots. And Josh Johnson came in and did a really good job of running that play. It looked really nice. And it's something that I think Freeman can run just as easily. It's not just Josh with his speed. That can run that. Then they went to 7-on-7s, and 7-on-7s, the goal is to not let the ball touch the ground. You have just the skill position guys out there, no lines, and the quarterback's supposed to make his reads and get the ball thrown out. You don't want to have any drops. You don't want to have any picks, obviously. Josh Freeman took the first set. He showed a significant preference to go into the right-hand side. He had one dump pass to Derek Ward that was behind him, and that was really one of only two drops in this session. One of the balls was actually tipped. Actually, there was two drops he had in the session. I'm sorry. Josh Johnson came in on his first play, threw a heck of a route to Reggie Brown on a double move down the right hand side. He made the safety bite on the short part of the double route, gave a pump fake. The safety sunk in. Reggie Brown took off down the sideline for a nice long ball for a touchdown. It was very, very nice, all told. And then he actually went perfect, I believe, through his session. And then Rudy Carpenter came in and had a 1-for-1. But Rudy Carpenter doesn't matter. They then went to the Oklahoma drill, which is always fun. Guys go in there, they get to really smack heads. And the interesting piece was DeMar Dotson pretty much owned Dre Moore. And a lot of you guys have been asking about Mr. Taylor, rookie fullback, and he completely trucked Quincy Black. Now, that drill was run with the defense on one side, the offense on the other side. It was very hard to see unless you look up at the Jumbotron. Mark Dominic was interviewed at this point, talked about the foundation and Freeman, thanked the fans for coming out. And then they went to a session that was very interesting. It was sort of mano-a-mano, and they took a linebacker or a defensive back, depending on who they were going on offense, against a running back or a receiver. Started out with Quincy Black against Derek Ward. Derek Ward ran a little slant in out of the backfield, and Josh Freeman hit him nicely in stride for a touchdown. They gave the offense one. Tenard Jackson went up against Aurelius Ben, who tried to put a double move on him. The ball was too far out of bounds, left-hand side, so defense won. Essentially, if the offense doesn't catch it, defense wins, and that comes into play here later. Clifton Smith went up against Geno Hayes. He ran a little out route. Geno Hayes was on top of him, no score, but it was a completion, so that goes to the offense. Aqib Talib against Mike Williams, the darling and ex-receiver, currently number one on your depth chart against Aqib Talib. Aqib Talib stepped up in press coverage, which was different than what Tenard Jackson showed against Aurelius Ben. He gave him about a 10-yard cushion. And Aqib Talib owned Mike Williams on this route. Now, Williams stayed with the route. Josh Freeman gave Williams a chance to make it. Aqib Talib made a great play on the ball. Incomplete. Defense wins. Rondé Barber comes against Michael Clayton. Michael Clayton tries to give him a little post corner move, and Rondé stayed with him. Actually, Mike Clayton should have been called for offensive pass interference, but the defense won anyway. Cadillac Williams against Barrett Ruud. And, in this particular route, Cadillac Williams makes the completion over Barrett Ruud. And, the problem was, I got to take that back. He didn't make a completion. He beat Barrett Ruud on a wheel route, and Rudy Carpenter threw a shitty pass. So, of course, I'm going to give that one to the offense because he beat him. And that's important, again, because the rubber match here was Savvy Piscatelli against Maurice Stovall. Savvy Piscatelli tried to get into press coverage on Maurice Stovall. Maurice Stovall gave him a move to the outside and then broke it to the post. And Savvy could probably not even see the jersey any longer. He was so far behind. And then, of course, the ball was underthrown, and Savvy was able to gain ground. They gave it to the defense. I have to give it to the defense, which gives the defense the win 4-3. On 11-on-11, the first play was excellent. It was a post route by Mike Williams for a touchdown. That was a phenomenal pass, a phenomenal route. And then things started to go a little bit sour for the offense. Josh Freeman rolled out to his right, threw a pick to double coverage for Ronnie Barber. Emack followed up with a pick in the left-hand side of the end zone, and it started to get a little bit ugly. Last but not least was the 2-minute drill, and this was looking very boring early, to be honest, and then all of a sudden, Josh Freeman pops off with about a 60-yard completion down the right-hand side to Reggie Brown, who then pushed, I forgot who it was who actually had coverage there, another 4 yards to get him to the 3-yard line. They then switched over, gave it to Josh Johnson to go the other direction. He held the ball a little bit too long, but he got a completion to Cadillac Williams on the first one, and then he threw a pick to Aqib Talib in the middle of the field, and I have no idea who the hell he was throwing it to. So the punter, Brent Bowden, got a chance to do some kicking, and then we got a chance to see the skills competition between the quarterbacks. And this is where it gets a little bit comical. It was the 3 quarterbacks. They had to hit 4 targets, all moving. Josh Johnson, Josh Freeman go to the final round. They're tied after their run, and they go to sudden death where they have to hit a golf cart going diagonally to the corner of the end zone. They each miss it through 3 revolutions, and finally they went to just a 30-yard crossing route, who Freeman misses and Josh Johnson hits. And they kept wanting to rerun it. That was the nice part about this. You can make fun of the fact that they couldn't hit the target. I'm not going to argue whether that's easy or complex. It doesn't matter. What was nice to see from a Bucs fan's perspective was they were into it. Their teammates were into it. Maurice Stovall was out running routes next to the golf cart to try and get people into it. It was a very fun event. Now, again, you could say that it's backlash. I don't think it is. I thought everyone was having a good time, and I think that as a fan, it was good to see. It was a good experience. I don't think you can take as much from this practice away as you can for the other practices. They did their best to maintain the air of the practice environment. There were position drills going on all over the field, but it really was sort of a spectacle. It was followed up by a fireworks display. I'm obviously bitter. I'm not going to get a chance to see practice next week. I'll do the best I can to get you guys videos. The next set of videos, we're going to go through the individual positions and try and do a depth chart based on what we've seen so far. And everything else is in anticipation of the first preseason game. So thanks for listening. If you get a chance, we'll have our show live Monday night at 7:30 on whatthebuck.net. And comment this up. Let me know what you think.